Hey, everybody. Ansah here. Thanks so much for tuning in. It is Tuesday. It's Tuesday. And I'm here with a very special guest who I now call my friend. And we already had a nice conversation over on African Diaspora News Channel. And I said, you know what? I want to continue this conversation. So we're here on Truth and Black Excellence with moi. And we're going to focus more so on Derrick Williamson, who is my guest, and all of the wonderful things he's doing, as well as the challenges that he's facing for sure. So, without further ado, thank you, Derrick, for joining me today.
Appreciate you having me on.
So
Yeah.
excited to have you.
Yeah.
So, just to set the stage a little bit, you owned a wildlife sanctuary, a farm. You are, I like to call an animal whisperer.
I love it. I love
You're an
it.
animal whisperer. But you know what? I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let you tell us more about yourself and everything that you have going on.
Mhm. No, absolutely. So once again, Miss Emma, thank you so much for having me on today, and to your audience, to everybody watching. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And so my name is Derrick Williamson, and one thing about me that is important is I believe that animals help people in many different facets of life, medically, physically. There's so many things animals do, and in my perspective, my company is called The Way Dynamic Animal Therapy Encounters. Me and God is obviously the way, and we believe that animals are here and they minister in their own perspective. On my business side of things, which is the S Corp, the way dynamic animal therapy encounters, we believe that animals have an ability to do animal therapy and help be an alternative to pharmaceutical drugs that often have a lot of side effects, right? And sometimes when you connect humans and animals together, something magical happens, something medical happens, and then man, we just see a lot of good things happen. And then on a nonprofit side of things, we know that we flip that concept, and so we go from animals saving the lives of humans through animal therapy to switching the concept to humans learning to save the lives of animals through wildlife rescue efforts. Okay, so when animals are injured, when they're orphaned, and that animal needs help to get to reestablish his life in the wild, or if it was an orphan because his mother, like a deer, the baby deer, the fawn, watched his mom get hit by a car, and that baby still needs milk. That baby still needs to learn how to. That fawn needs to learn how to navigate life again in its natural environment. So we have to help them as stewards of the planet. So both sides, that's what we do, the preservation of life. One side is saving the lives of humans, the other side is saving the lives of animals. And we don't take that for granted. That's why this case is important. That's why people getting connected is essential, because the longer that I'm obstructed, that's the loss of life. I say this all the time, Ms. Emma, you hear me say it a lot. I'm not a car dealership or restaurant, right? The more that I'm obstructed, things might not make it. There's an animal that is suffering right now that doesn't have anywhere to go because a lot of the facilities in Georgia are maxed out. They can't take in but so many patients a year. And there's very few of us that do this. And even fewer look like me, right?
That is
So,
facts. And
yeah.
so what made you, I have two dogs and I love them, and if I had a larger home, I would have more because I'm a major dog lover. I'm an animal lover.
Love
But
it.
there are certain animals that I just love. Like I love dogs. I love birds, but my favorite bird is the eagle. There's just
Yes,
something
love eagles.
gorgeous and regal about eagles. And like I literally feel like if I ever see an eagle, I'll probably break down crying. Like that's how much I love
Listen.
eagles. So what made you get into this world of just animals and wildlife sanctuary? And you're right, it is very few people in the world, and especially very few black people that do this. And you're a young man. So
Absolutely.
how did you get there?
I want to comment on what you said before I get into that. The eagle. One thing about an eagle, its majesticness is breathtaking.
Majestic.
I remember the moment, because obviously, I passed my falconer exam for the state of Georgia, and I work with a very successful, falconry academy to help me learn. I went to like falconry school. I went to school to learn about raptors, eagles, hawks, and owls, all these birds, because I had aspirations to be one of the few falconers in the state of Georgia, and definitely one of the few falconers of color in the state of Georgia. And in the program, the founder of the program, he has eagle, a golden eagle. I've
Oh,
never been that close to an eagle before, and I'll never forget the moment that that eagle was unhooded, and I was literally like 7 feet, or 6, 7 feet away from it. I'll never forget the majesty that
yes,
it put into the room, the energy. I've dealt with a lot of animals, from big, small, the exotic. I've dealt with a lot of animals, but that eagle was something amazing. I kind of get why the United States made the eagle its logo. I kind of get why eagle so much. To those of us that have spiritual context, I kind of see why the eagle so referenced, because its majesty, its majesticness, its ability
very
to
much so.
command presence is really deep. So I understand what you're saying.
Oh my gosh.
I get that. Now, hopefully one day I will be able to. Hopefully one day our animal family will consist of one day.
Oh,
Um,
I'll be on the
but
first thing smoking to Morgan County
I
to
know,
see
right?
that
I'm
eagle.
telling you. Yes, I know it. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But yeah, so getting involved with animals. It didn't take me long to realize that animals are unique. They have an ability to really connect people to the world around them sometime, and connect us to so much. Like, anytime I'm with animals, it's just something beautiful. That I just love it. It makes me happy. It ministers to me in a way that medicine can't, that sometimes people can't, and different animals have different diversifications of ministry. And because I work with so many different animals, look at
Oh,
my
so
kinkajou
cute.
right there. That is a kinkajou right there. So they call it the poor man's monkey, but amazing animal, has a
Oh, so
prehensile tail,
cute.
has a prehensile tail tuck, and is in its arboreal, so it lives in the treetops. But in animals, you have this unique way to just really help people and minister. So as I was young, I would be that guy, like, where if I'm driving, I'll stop all the traffic to let that animal, like, to get out and try to get the animal across the road. Man, I'll park almost sideways and make sure that turtle doesn't get hit. So that was me growing up. I said, man, I gotta protect these animals, and I gotta do life with these animals. Like, it was it was a major thing to me. But as I would go through life, though, it was just like more so like a passion and not a professional. I didn't go into it from the professional perspective. It'll be sometime later that I had a background and have a background in ministry, helping people, like, work with food banks and clothing banks, and homeless outreaches and halfway houses. So the human part of it, and the rehabilitation, the human part, I got that. That was fine. But the one part I didn't have on the professional side was the animals. And God began to speak a unique work to my heart. He began to show me that part of my destiny, the reason that I exist, right, is to connect humans and animals together in this beautiful symbiotic relationship. And that's where it all began. And ever since then, and it just started out from there, just having a vision to want to take this passion to the next level, and just letting God orchestrate it. And I would go on to, I would be blessed to be able to procure an amazing, almost 40 office medical building. And
Wow.
I was going to take the all of because it's all medical office building, and it has several exam rooms, and I was going to take those exam rooms and convert the exam rooms into therapy rooms, and each room has a different theme that can help people with different things: anxiety, depression, loneliness, whatever the case is. Each room is themed to minister with an animal that can minister to whatever perspective that was. And it's never been done in that concept like that in the US. So I had a lot of backlash with it initially, but it was in the process of being developed. And I was learning, I was new, and I just came out with this big vision. I had this building, and it just everything just built, it just started building from there to where I'm at today, to where obviously where I would own a beautiful, 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 beautiful animal sanctuary, to where I'm hopeful to get back home one day.
And you know what? It says in the scriptures that, we have to be kind to animals.
Yeah,
And so I love that you're saying that, this is has God in the forefront of it,
absolutely.
and that's why you're safe, because some of these animals are not, they don't have the reputation of being the safest animals to be around. For example, the
Absolutely.
raccoons that run around in my neighborhood are vicious, but I
Yeah,
think it's
they
more
can
about
be.
fear, than
Yeah,
anything else. But so it is definitely, God is covering you. You got the blood of
absolutely.
Jesus covering you, and I
Absolutely.
know God will get you where you need to go.
Yes, Emma.
In God's perfect timing, for sure. So I
Yeah, you're
really
right.
appreciate that you have not given up on this
Yeah,
plight. You've not given
yeah,
up on getting your land, your home, everything back. Um, Unfortunately, we have to talk about it.
yeah,
The other part of this madness is that you, with the goodness of your heart, helped
yeah,
out this white family.
Yeah.
And then in the end, they ended up taking everything from you.
Yeah.
So let us just get into that. So, tell us what happened here.
Absolutely. And before I get into that, I just want to comment on what you said before, because that's really important. You talked about God's majesty in this ministry and what we do. You know, in scripture, it tells us, ask the birds of the air. It tells us in scriptures in Job, I believe it's chapter 12, but it talks about the birds of the air, the fish of the sea, and the beasts of the field. They'll instruct you. And I was like, man, I've read that
Yep.
scripture, I've read that scripture where it says that, ask the bird, they'll instruct you and teach you. I've heard all that. But then when I really like got into this concept and context, I'm like, wow, like you can watch animals and learn so much. For example, relationships. When it comes to understanding fortification of a relationship, a lot of animals, once they quote unquote marry, they marry for life. They don't sleep around and bounce around. They stay with that one mate forever,
Like
and
the
they do life
penguin.
together exactly like a penguin or like
Oh my
geese
God.
or animals like that. They do not once they lock in, they fortify the relationship. So we learn a lot through relationships about even children. Certain animals are so sacrificial to their children in so
Yep.
many aspects. We learn patience first. A lot of animals have to be so patient because the way nature moves in this, the way things are, you have to have patience to wait on their food or to hunt patiently. All those things. We learn so many aspects. God teaches us so much through the animal kingdom. So much. A lot of biblical lessons are in there. And I love the way, even
Indeed.
scripturally, we see, and I know God has a unique fascination to animals too, because if you look at some of the cherubim hosts, the different hosts throughout scripture, not get too deep into this, but a lot of them
Oh,
have
you can go deep.
animalistic, and a lot of them have resemblances of animals. For example, like the angels that just circle the throne of God saying, holy, holy, holy is the Lord God Almighty. When you look up those animals, those are very descriptive animals. We're talking about
Yep.
eagles and all these
Yep.
lions and all this stuff, but these are
Yep.
animalistic creations. And we begin to see the imprints of God's majesty ministering through animals all
Yep.
throughout biblical history. We see going back, and not even in other societies and different faith based groups, like even with even in the Egyptian culture, the serval next to the pharaoh, all these things are the indigenous
Yes.
other indigenous people, the falcon on the shoulder, like
The
it goes
serpents.
so
I mean, the list
exactly, or the
goes
serpent.
on.
It goes on and on, and then animals begin to minister to us through helping us to provide for ourselves, like the ox in the field pulling the blade through the ground to till the ground, to tiller through the ground. We have so many different things how animals
Let
minister.
us not forget the sacrificial lamb too.
Absolutely, and it's and we learn so much, and even and
So
even
much.
and so much. Now that's a whole
Oh
I
my
love there
gosh.
too. And my company is named, the ministry is named The Way, because we believe that God is the way,
The truth
dynamic
and the
animal theory,
life.
the truth and the life. And on that note is how I would transition into the situation that I'm in. My company is called The Way Dynamic Animal Therapy Encounters, and I keep on emphasizing on the way, because Yahweh, God, Jesus is the way. So on December 26th of 2024, James and Janet Hardy, in conspiracy, allegedly with the county, would go and forge my corporate signature in the assessor's office, and forged my corporate signature, alleging to be the CFO of my company, which is a deed holder, alleging to be the CFO, and sign my corporate deed out of the ministry's name into their Hardy family name. It'll be less than 60 days later that they both will lose their lives in a plane crash. We've been fighting for years. We've been in litigation for years. They've done so much illegal things. They've done a lot. But I truly believe that once they took the ministry's name off of when they really hijacked the ministry's name, they moved against something a whole lot bigger than me. I'm gonna just leave it there. I'm not gonna
I
go
was
too deep
about
into
to.
that.
I'll say it. I'll say
I'm
it.
gonna leave it
I'll say it. You
there.
cannot play with God's people.
Telling you.
That's
I'm
all
telling
I'm
you.
going to say. God
And
doesn't sleep.
he does not. He does not. And I'm gonna leave it just like that. At the end of the day,
Yep.
this ministry belongs to God. So a lot of times I see people in the comment section saying that, oh, I'm a liar, all these scammer, all these things. And at the end of the day, one thing about me, when you go through my story, I give unadulterated facts. I give truth, consistency, because the truth, it does not need the truth. We know the truth, and truth has set us free. Bottom line, my story is bizarre. I will agree. And listen, it's a lot going on here. I'll be the first to tell you that. but it's all unadulterated truth for me. And a lot of people, it's so bizarre. They go try to make up and they use their imagination to make up all these scenarios that aren't
Oh
happening.
yeah.
Number one, I never told you that. The Hardys never told you that. But you come up with this scenario. Come on now, people. And it's like, listen, this is what happened. In my animal family, we lost our home because this millionaire family, they were so instrumental in helping us to establish. And at the end of the day, the Janet Hardy gave a phenomenal contribution to the organization, to the ministry, not necessarily to me personally. It was for the preservation of life. The only reason that I'm interviewing and doing having to go through things now is because I look this way. Go audit
Yep.
all the other wildlife rescue organizations that got started through a doctor's money, or through a donation from a lawyer, or through a corporation giving and tendering over funds, unadulterated donations. How about you go audit them, right? But they don't want to do that. But they look at me because, look, they say that, oh, maybe I shouldn't have this, or maybe you shouldn't have this context because when you look, I'm already in the industry that does not that people like me don't excel in and don't look. It is what it is. I came in this industry like most wildlife rescue organizations. We're reliant on people supporting, people helping. This is the most expensive organization or structure to have. You got to have the animals are so expensive. All the different vet bills. Usually animals have a lot of problems and a lot of
They sure
exotic
do.
problems. They have a
Yes.
lot of issues. You got to have the enclosures. Did you realize also that what we do is county regulated, state regulated, Department of Natural Resources, federally regulated, United States Department of Agriculture. Then you have the United States the Fish and Wildlife, the Wild Fish and Wildlife Services. There's so many different organizations that audit you on these things. It's very expensive. So we need
Yes.
help. But we save lives though. It's not about the money. It's not about all that. And it's hard and it ain't easy. If you would know a rehabber, if you get a chance to go into their brain a second, you gotta think we have to see so much, or like the loss. Like when people say, "Hey, this baby deer, he got clipped by a car and his legs are broken," and you have to see that baby deer. That baby deer comes in pain, hurting, or that mom deer that got hit, and the babies are fine, but she's struggling for her life. Or that fox that got injured, or whatever animal it is. We see so much injury, but we try to help these animals to get back into the wild. That's why my company was establishing. I was in the process of establishing to have an on-site animal hospital before I was stifled, you know, and by the Hardy family and their corruption with the county. It's been a journey. It's been a journey.
So the Hardy family, they had, like you said, they gave a sizable donation. So I feel
Yeah,
like part of this is just literally the white privilege of it all, right? They feel like they
yeah,
gave this sizable donation, so they're
yeah.
entitled to everything.
Exactly, exactly. And they did, and that's very, and I'm glad you emphasized that. At the end of the day, no matter founders and people that do this kind of work, people that give, when a person gives a contribution or gives to the organization, that was a philanthropic gift. That is not for them to govern, because God may not have given them that vision. That was their part. They did their part. That's their input in the ministry. That's their input on the world. That's their humanitarian effort, however you want to put it. That does not mean that you now have the authority to step over the visionary and step over the shepherd that's ordained by God to do what they're supposed to do. That never meant that. And if that individual believed that they should have had governing power, okay, that means that Janet and the Hardys are they're real estate moguls, highly intelligent, highly intelligent. They would have made sure they had shares in the company. They would have made sure that the name was on the deed. They would have made sure they did so many measures, but yet they took not one measure. But now we're claiming all these things. No, no, it doesn't work like that. And it was very clear in that perspective that what was supposed to happen, them giving a contribution does not give them the ability to govern the practice. It's very clear. And they thought that for whatever reason, they came back later and felt that way. And that's not the way that is. We're thankful for what they did. They helped a lot of animals, a lot of people, and they advanced our practice. What I was doing, they advanced it eons. She advanced this practice eons. And I'm thankful for that. But then again, when misconduct sets forth, it's bigger than both of us. It was bigger than me. It's bigger than her. There's a ministry to protect. And her greed versus the ministry's integrity were two different things. And it was my job to mediate to mediate that.
And so these people, in a strange twist of fate, end
Yeah.
up dying in a plane crash. And
Yeah.
you're still, years later, still fighting to get your land and home back
Yeah.
because their family is in there. So
Yeah.
literally, these two people that were instrumental in taking everything you have from you die.
Yeah.
and then the fight continues. It's like the
Yeah,
family just took
bizarre.
over.
It's crazy because over all these years, people say what they want to say in the comment section. Bottom line is, I am the deed holder. My company is a deed holder, and I am the 100% shareholder. So I speak for all assets of the company, all of the animals, the property. It all belongs to my corporation by law, by constitutional right. It all is mine. So all this, we're going on 5 years now, and the CEO and founder has been kicked off his land along with my animals, right? And we own it, and we've owned it for years, since 2021. Make it make sense. How can people that are not in a corporation, are not shareholders, and are not even on the deed, what gives them right to have access to corporate property? That is not a personal name. That is corporate property. That's the corporate. So how many laws were broken to keep me, because I look a certain way, and my animals off our farm, off our home? I can understand that initially, the things happened in the beginning, we had to sort some things out. But 5 years, come on, y'all. It shows the corruption. And I've documented time and time again how law enforcement will break the law to protect this millionaire family. I've documented how judges will break the law to protect this millionaire family. I've documented other county officials and supports of the county breaking the law, right, to keep me off my farm. Going on 5 years now, and it's it's breathtaking. I don't understand it. And like in the world, it's like, I mean, my case has millions on millions on millions of views. It's like we're watching. It's like, is this really happening? Is this really real? Yes, it's very real. This is happening in real life in real time. Like my property was seized from us. Like we're displaced to this day. We're the owners. We have a superior court ruling. The court has ruled already years ago, saying that the way dynamic animal therapy encounters are the deed holders. It's simple as that. The claim is set the deed aside is denied. Any claim is denied. That corporation owns that land, has the right to defend that deed, has the right to everything thereof. But Morgan County's like, hey, listen, we don't care what anybody says. We don't care what a court rules. You ain't going on that property. We said what we said, and we don't care about a constitutional law. We don't care who you talk to. You ain't going on that property. And every time you do, you see all those guns that's going to be there. You see all them bulletproof vests and mace and tasers and all that. We're going to make sure to remove you every time. They've held true to it for 5 years now, illegally.
And to answer your question, you're saying what gives them the right? The color of their skin,
Absolutely.
period. And then, being millionaires and having a lot of people in their back pocket. That's,
Exactly.
I mean, I should rephrase. It doesn't give them the right. It gives them the
Yeah,
privilege.
it does.
That's more what it is. One Uncle
Yeah.
Kel says hi, Emma and Derek, and
Yeah,
Theodore Elliott says these wicked people will reap what they sow. I agree.
exactly.
I
I
agree.
agree.
Everything in God's perfect timing. But let's
Yes.
look at one of the altercations that
Yeah.
happened when I guess you could set the stage. Were you going there to just try and get your stuff, or were you going there and saying, I'm not leaving? Like, what had happened before that altercation? It
If
would
we
be with the
can,
Hardys. By the way, family, it's with the
yeah.
Hardys who are no longer with us. But just to get a sense of what Derek has been going through, I wanted to play some of these videos.
Hey, Miss Emma, if it's okay, can you go ahead and play it, and I'll just go ahead and comment right after, if that's okay?
Sure. Yeah, let's look at this one.
Get your hands off me! Ah, snap! I'm gonna call up. Hey, I'm recording all this. Move out of my way.
That is none of your stuff.
Get out of my way. Get out of my way and get away from me. Get out of my way and get away from me. She told you get out of my way and get away from me. Get out of. Wait, get your hands off me. Get your hands off me. Ah, snap! I'm gonna call up. Hey, I'm recording all this. Move out of my way. Their property. Get out of my way. I'm calling law enforcement now. I'm calling law enforcement against you all now.
That's all there is of yours.
I'm not touching anything to law enforcement. Get here, y'all have hurt me and
Yeah. That would begin to be the start of where things begin to get quote unquote violent, or altercation happens. You could see Jay grab me, and I was already leaned over, and my shoulder got messed up inside of that altercation. I had to go to the hospital. I have the records of having soft tissue injuries. I had to go to therapy for because I believe it was a not the rotator cuff, but it was a muscle or something that got ripped in there and messed up my shoulder up, and I had to treat for that for quite some time. When we went to court, okay, get this. You saw the video evidence, right? I ain't touched
Yeah.
nobody. I'm leaned over, slammed the drawer, almost slammed my fingers in that drawer almost. And the judge looked at that video. She said, it shows nothing, right? Then she followed up with this. She said, and the two women, Janet Hardy in that video, and then also Claire Hardy, they lied to the judge and said I put my hands on them, that I
Of
assaulted them.
course. You
I
know they
assaulted
love
two
to
white women.
weaponize their whiteness, right? And say the
Exactly.
black man injured me. Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. The judge looked at me, and we know how this case went after that. You guys seen the video. I didn't put my hands on nobody. I'm even leaned away. I'm even leaned over to try to get it to create space. And they assault me, lay hands on, contact me. And then I'm not even by the girls. The girls, the James Hardy, Jay Hardy's between us. And then the girls go to court and they say it's me. That I assaulted them. They said that I assaulted them. In the report, it says I assaulted the two white women. And it's like, well, are you serious? Like this is like, come on now. It's video evidence, and that's what's crazy about my case. I document so much video evidence. So how we make stuff refutable, I don't, or debatable, I don't know. But this is your eyes watching in real time the situation. I never touched nobody, but guess what? I was removed from my home. That was the first time I was removed on those grounds of me assaulting them, a
What
family.
were you going there to do on that day?
So I was just home. I came in. I needed those two documents were
Oh,
those. So I was just home, and I came in that drawer. And let me be clear: everything, the furniture, the chairs, everything in there is all corporate property. So that everything, I have receipts to everything in there. That was all in the corporation. The way we set everything up, because we had to have, and it was custom design. An interior designer came in and custom decor the entire facility, because part of how we're going to raise money for the animals was that we're going to rent out to the movie industry. So it's very imperative that we decorate accordingly, according to animal themes and stuff like that. So custom decor, and it was all corporate. It was corporate. So that drawer is corporate property. And as she said, nothing here belongs. They were trying to like start trying to like bully me or trying to assert themselves over me. And as you see in that drawer, she had to hand me two corporate documents out of that drawer, which actually was where I was going to go get anyway. I don't have to ask anybody for anything in my home. And, their bedrooms, like, they have bedrooms upstairs. I was not in any of their private things upstairs. That is my den area. That is a place where my team goes. That's the team area where they can recoup and relax and things like that. That's the den. That's our den area. So I was getting corporate documents, and she even admitted, "Oh, this is all that's yours." Pulls out two documents. Oh, okay,
and
okay.
clearly there's more.
Obviously, and, and it's just a mess. And they would just go and they would just do thing after thing, break the law, start making false reports against me, assaulting me. Man, I got
Excuse me.
injury. Got
I'm sorry. My dog just out. My,
oh, I
my
got the
dog
dog.
just walked in.
He's
One
trying
of
to
them.
listen in. He's like, "What are you in there
I'm
talking
telling
about?"
you, she because the doors are ajar. She just puts her nose and pushes herself in. She's a
I love
very,
it.
very impulsive little
I
one.
love it. I love it. She's like, "Hey, hold on. I want to get in this interview too. Hold up. I want my little
It's
moment
probably your
too." Let me,
voice because
I know. Let me talk to the
you're the
animal
animal
whisperer.
whisperer. She's
I
like,
was say, let me
wait,
talk to the animal whisperer, right?
who's that exactly? We
No.
have one commenter who wants to know
Yeah.
why did you let them into your life?
That's a great question. I let him into my life because at that time, I was director of a prominent food ministry in the area, and I believed in community. I believe my focus was building a stronger community and just loving everybody well. That's what it was, and it was nothing. It was never any ill intent or anything like that. And I knew them. I grew relationship with them over time. They were volunteers. They helped. They served. They gave to the ministry. They did a lot. So it wasn't like I just randomly just picked somebody off the street and said, "Listen, you're the one." No, it didn't work like that. They built trust with me. They built relationship with me. There's certain things that I was not tracking on that I probably should have been tracking on. Certain, people have an incredible way of masking things. But like they say, you never know somebody till you live with them, right? We've heard that before. So,
Yep.
and I just had compassion on them as a family, in the situation with the child, the loss of life. I just had compassion on the situation, and I just want to help. And granted, I've helped so many people. I mean, that's one situation that got me hung up. But I've helped so many people, and I would just operate in the context of the good nature of my heart. And I did not foresee that this type of harm. I never foresee the evil intent. I never saw this approach happening. I only came here to help. It was about nothing else. Hey, you guys have a situation and I'm able to help and minister from this perspective. It's, that's all it was. And we see it grew into something, a catastrophic situation later.
Yeah, and I feel like it was premeditated.
Yeah.
They put on a good show,
Yeah.
to build that trust and that,
Yeah.
that good rapport, good relations and all that stuff. But behind the scenes, they were plotting this. It's not
Oh yeah.
something that happened just like that.
That's true.
They definitely were doing it. This has been happening over time. They were just really presenting as
Yeah.
this great millionaire family
Yeah.
that was just so interested in, ministry.
Exactly.
But they're very
Exactly.
diabolical. And like I said, God doesn't sleep,
No, he does not. He does not. He's not
and God
sleeping or
help their
slumbering.
souls.
Yeah.
So
He
I'm
does.
gonna play the second altercation. Before I do so, Honorine says, "I'm wishing the best for you, Derek. You have to win
Thank you.
this."
I
Yeah, we
know.
are
I appreciate
all
that.
rooting for him. That's why
Thank
we're
you.
we're just gonna keep using our platforms to talk
Yes.
about this so people are aware of it, as well as the GoFundMe to help Derek.
Thank
We'll
you.
get into where Derek
Yeah.
is now with everything, where he's living and all that other stuff
Yeah.
a little bit later on.
Yeah.
Theodore says, unbelievably how wicked people are. Indeed.
It's true.
Indeed.
That part.
There's just
So
pure
true.
evil. So here's a second video of another altercation. This is the one where this man who is no longer with us had a fishing pole that he was, threatening to whip you with. And then, of course, he was putting on the performance of a lifetime, making it seem like you were hitting him.
Yeah.
Theodore says that we will be praying for you, brother. Thank you.
Amen.
We
Thank you so
please
much.
do. So let's
Yes.
watch this and then we'll talk some more about this as well.
Okay.
Can I just say before I play the second one,
Yeah.
because every time I watch it, it's just so difficult for me to watch because
Yeah.
am also somebody who's experienced so much anti-Black racism, like pretty much my entire life. Covert, overt, been through it all. But when I see this kind of thing, it triggers me because it reminds me of like the overt times in my younger years, and it triggers me and it fuels
Yeah.
me to keep this story at top of mind for everybody. So I just wanted to say that before I
Doing that.
played it. So if I seem a little bit low vibration, it's just because this is just really, really triggering for me. So let us play this.
Let's do it.
Get away from me! 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 Quit hitting me! Get away from me! Get away from me! Stop! Get your hands off me! Ah! Get your hands off me! Get your hands off me! Again, because I'm not going to keep on letting you put your hands on me.
Get out of the house. This isn't your house.
Get out of my face. Get out of my face.
Dad, don't do anything, Dad, stop! Dad, stop!
Move. Move. Get your hands off me.
James Hardy shows up to Derek's home, vandalizes his GMC Sierra 2500, and tried to whip Derek with a fishing pole. He also assaulted Derek, leaving several bruises that were documented by officers who responded to that incident.
Hey, man. How you gonna get out of here? You have to call Uber. You got two choices. You know, whip you with your fishing pole, or we're gonna call 911.
Dad, don't do that.
You got your choice.
He's gonna start.
You're aggravating my family.
All right, let's just call 911. We'll go back to the court.
You waited the one day and you came out, and the court battle is not finished yet.
Well, that's okay. We'll call.
All right, go ahead and call. Deputy Odom is who it is, and we'll go back in front of the judge.
That's all. We'll order the same thing until it's over with.
I'd suggest you get out of here. But you're gonna have to call Uber.
Get your hands off me.
Pardon me. I meant to pause and I ended up rewinding it. But I wanted to pause at the moment at the section where he's this right here, where he's holding this fishing pole. So was he threatening you with it or did he actually hit you with it?
He slapped it. He slapped the sofa beside me with it. He slapped the sofa beside me with it, and I believe that's actually when I actually really actually took out my camera and started recording him. And his daughter, you can hear on the camera, she's like, "He's recording." That's why she's trying to tell him stop because he's actually recording. That's that. This is bizarre because I'm gonna start before I get to the fishing pole. I'm gonna start a little bit further back. I believe you played the first video of him very very clearly. I went to jail that night. I've never been arrested a day. I was never in trouble a day of my life. Never been in trouble. I've never spent time in a jail cell before, ever before. I was brutally taken down, face planted to the ground by probably almost 300-pound officer another deputy that night. I was already injured the week before because did you hear there's a reference of a police report because we got into a really bad altercation and I had bruises and like y'all you guys know I work with wildlife animals. I mean I'm rugged. I'm tough as hell when it comes to like I'm tough like I don't bruise easy, all that kind of stuff. Before a police report to document several bruises across my face and my body from before, and I was still recovering from injuries. I was still recovering from other injuries for
Oh, we've lost audio from you, Derek.
and yeah, sorry. There we
Oh,
go.
you're
Shit.
back.
Am I back now? Okay.
Yes.
So I showed them video evidence of it. Like I did, like every time. Hey, I got video evidence. They said, listen, this is you. The judge said, this is you. The cop said, this is you. Bro, I ain't never do nothing to nobody, bro. I'm just trying to get help. Like, I went to jail that night, and that day, my brother's funeral was that day too. So they know how to be strategic in their attacks. And they would take my phone, take me away from my family, my friends, and leave me in that decrepit, cold, dirty, nasty cell for the first time in my life that night, injured, without even didn't even get me the medications that I was supposed to get for the pain relief. I didn't even get me none of that until my attorney could get me out. And then we see the fishing pole scene comes in. Then we got the fishing pole scene. This man threatened to beat me with a fishing pole, like literally, like we're literally back in slavery
The days
times,
of
beating me,
slavery. Yeah.
like literally, I'm gonna beat you. These people are so so diabolical that anything they feel that they have immunity. I mean, yeah, they're empowered. I mean, the judges, the law enforcement, the county. Like, what can't you do? This black man does not have the support. This black man, what are they going to do against us as a county? We're co-op together with this millionaire family. Who's going to save him?
Right.
Who's going to help them? And one thing that they've thought that they may have had to some capacity at that time. I didn't have the support, but as my story began to grow, more people began to take heed of it and know. I want you to put yourself in my shoes. When you saw him hitting himself and throwing that clock at me, and so put yourself in those shoes. Can you imagine this aggression and the evil of this person coming at you? And then I'm gonna bring it home for you because people say, "Man, you soft. You ain't put your hands on Brian. Gonna never let nobody disrespect me like that. I ain't gonna do it. Never, not me." Let me help you guys understand something. I've said this before. Mightier is the man that rules his spirit than a mighty king that takes a city. They wanted me to respond with violence. If I
Yeah.
respond to violence, I would be in jail to this day. I have charges on charges on charges. I already got charges for doing nothing. Now imagine if I did something. I would be
Exactly.
trending. I would be trending on the internet. Instead of having millions and millions of views for my patience, my resolve to fight, I'd be trending for knocking somebody the hell out. And that's not that's not the context of this organization. I'm a founder and CEO of a company that does animal therapy. We save life. I have to protect this ministry, this organization. This isn't just about me. Like I represent the preservation of life. If I mess up and things happen and think like you know how many animals are affected? Are y'all gonna go
Yeah.
out there and take care? Are y'all gonna go out there and teach these baby deer how to be in the wild? Y'all gonna go to vet school and learn about this stuff and pass all these big exams and stuff? Are we gonna do that? A lot of us don't, but some of us do. Okay, that's why it's important. I couldn't put my hands on nobody. I had to restrain myself, bro. I'm telling y'all, man. If y'all knew It took everything in me, boy, not to put my hands on any of them, bro. They did, man.
Oh,
They
the turn
crossed
the
lines
cheek
that, bro.
mentality is not easy at all.
Listen, bro, listen to me. I'm like, bro, like it's times that, man, I had to like in videos people are commenting, you can hear me growling. There's certain videos I'm like I'm literally growling, like trying to keep my composure, but I'm trying everything I can because I know that there's a better way, and it's not the way. It's not going to produce the judgment. It may give me a temporary relief in that moment, but over the grand picture, is it what was needed? Is this what it takes to win? Is this what it no? Because when you guys look at my case, you'll never see me acting in misconduct. You're not going to find it. But I
Right.
can show them stuff all day. I can show you video after video of violence. I can show they bruised me up, put me in the hospital, ambulance trip after ambulance trip. I can show you everything. But guess what? But sometimes, somehow, some people still paint me out as the bad guy just because, once again, I look like this and I do this kind of
Yep.
work. It's
Yeah.
sad. It's unfortunate. Breaks my
And
heart.
again, the whip thing for me is triggering, really triggering.
It is. It
Um,
is. It is.
oh my gosh, so
It is.
triggering. And you know, I
Yeah.
I get because what you're doing, Derek, is you're a
Mm,
person that's thinking or taking those couple of minutes to think about what else you stand
yeah.
to lose, right? Your freedom
Absolutely.
potentially.
Yes.
So you have to temper yourself. And
Have to.
because you end up in jail even though you did nothing. So imagine, like you said, if you did, because I know a lot of people are like, why are you letting them do that to you? If it was
Yeah.
me, I would not have.
Yeah.
But you have
Yeah.
to, you gotta stay in the fight, but you gotta be
Yeah.
strategic, and
I
you've
have
got to
to.
surgically deal with them.
I have to. These
Right.
people harm me. When I get in jail, the things they do to me in there and stuff like that, you guys don't understand. Me being in their care and away from my phone, away from the media, they want me. They want that. You know how bad they want to pull their guns on me. You know how bad they want to do these things. I can't give them that opportunity. I can end up on a shirt a lot quicker on a shirt. And I'm hoping in my case that, my case I get a lot of threats and stuff like that. I've ruffled a lot of feathers with a lot of powerful people exposing their corruption to you guys. I've showed you guys. I've only document truths. I don't get on here and play conspiracy theorists. I don't do all that. I don't make up. I don't use my imagination. I give you raw facts and I back it with documents and video evidence. Simple as that. I leave the conspiracy to everybody else, you know? So it's mind-boggling to me. My life, I read threat. I got all threats. People, you guys are calling me the N-word and threatening me and stuff in comment sections. But I ain't do nothing to nobody other than everything is up and up. Like these people break crime after crime. Federal law federal law breaks, state law breaks, county law breaks, constitutional, I mean, everything. And you guys have nothing on me but the fact that I gotta be done something wrong. Something you see the deed of the property. Mm, yeah, it's his deed, but it gotta be something else. The violence. Oh, well, something happened there. And we do that all day. And it's just a damn shame. It really is, man.
It
My
really
company doesn't deserve this.
No, not at all. And Theodore is saying you should reach out to Benjamin Crump. I believe his name is. Oh, we've already tried that.
Yeah, he's not interested, y'all. According to his office multiple times, I know everybody's flagging the comment section and just. But listen, he's not interested, y'all. NAACP, those organizations and people like that. This is a case that's been gotten millions on millions on millions of views. I've reached out to you people. You guys know I'm very diligent. This is over a 5-year period almost. I've had a lot of time to reach out to a lot of people, and I've done it. You guys have tried reaching out. Man, you guys, and I can't reach these people any better than you guys a lot of times. And once I reach them, they're not interested. So
Yeah,
that's why
we
I just
we
keep
should we
knocking.
should flood Benjamin Crump's email. Dr.
Yeah.
Vibe says greetings, Dr. Vibe. Thanks so much for
Hey, greetings,
tuning
doctor.
in. So
Hey,
let us
greetings.
continue watching this horror, and we'll
Yeah,
talk some more. Oh Lord, here we go.
yeah.
Now, in the court battle is not finished yet.
Well, that's okay. We'll call.
All right, go ahead and call. Deputy Odom is who it is, and we'll go back in front of the judge.
We'll order the same thing until it's over with.
I'd suggest you get out of here. But you're going to have to call Uber.
Strangest thing happened again, though. During the officers responding to that incident with James Hardy, someone again called Judge Holt. The judge proceeding over their case. The judge again interfered, ordering the officers to charge James Hardy with simple assault instead of the simple battery charges that the officer was originally going to charge James Hardy with. The officer actually referenced the judge's interference in the police report to make it clear that he did not agree with the judge's decision to charge simple assault as opposed to simple battery, which is a more serious charge in the state of Georgia. I want to remind you all that these incidents all happened the night of Derrick's brother's fatal accident. What Derrick went through, the trauma that he endured, is just horrendous. And it's very overwhelming that one young man had to endure this alone.
Be out, oh, one day when the
Yeah.
So
You
that
know,
happened the same day that your brother tragically passed.
yeah, did all this. This all happened the day that he passed, and then the next week and I was arrested the day of his funeral. Uh, it's something that's really important. You guys, sorry, it's a little hard. Sometimes when I see these videos over again, and
Oh, the
it's a lot
emotions
for
flood.
me.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and something that's really important. I want you guys to really catch this. The officer documented something very important. When it comes to laws, right? How you're charged is important. It tells a big story, kind of tells what the person actually did and what's being charged, like what's the severity. The police officer, he could not deny all these bruises over my body. He couldn't deny it. He was like, you know what? We've been out here a lot of times. You've been injured a lot of times, but this one, this is too much. This is bad. And I took pictures of all this stuff, and I had documents of my own, so we had to document it. He tried to charge the applicable charge, which is simple battery. The judge got involved and said, no, you're going to charge with simple assault. So let's talk about that. So, simple battery is when an individual physically carries out the act to harm someone. That means you physically made contact. You physically harmed them, physically causing damage to that person's body, their being. Simple assault is when you threaten to do something, or when you verbally do something, or you make attempt to do something. It's not a physical contact leading in bruises and brutality to the body. So what Holt did was, she said, listen, he never touched that young man. That's how you charge. Every bruise on his body means nothing. I don't care if it's blood, bruises, don't matter. It means nothing. You charge like I told you to charge. And if you understand anything about the law, you know this. The executive branch and the judicial branch are not. They are co-equal powers. The executive branch, as far as the police officers, they have the right to charge. That's what they do. They bring forth the charges. They were there, they investigate. That's what they do. And then it goes before the judicial side of things, where the case is heard and things like that. Okay. The judge cannot interfere with an arrest. That is illegal. She cannot interfere with the arrest from the bench. That's not how that works. We're not in court. I'm not under her jurisdiction at that moment. It transitions to her once the executive branch, once the law enforcement does their part. She interfered directly with that again and stopped it from happening.
I'm actually, to be honest with you, Derek, I'm actually surprised there was any charge. I
Mm,
was literally surprised because I was expecting what normally
exactly.
happens, right?
Exactly.
And so I was surprised there was a charge. But
Yeah.
at the same time, we're still in this situation.
Yeah.
Again, let me just remind the viewers, these people are not even alive anymore. So
Yeah.
to
They're
those who
gone.
just joined, these people passed away in a plane crash. But Derek is still fighting years later. And Dr. Vibe says, my condolences regarding your brother. So thank you so much, Dr.
Thank you.
Vibe. So it just boggles the mind. But I wanted to ask you before I play the video of the police coming to your house, and I just again, I know we talked about this already on
Yeah.
African Diaspora News, but I just have to say again, I love the way you stood on business. I really appreciate and admire your strength, your perseverance, and I know it is led by God. I know it is, because you're
Amen.
still in this fight and you still smile, you still laugh, you still have a great disposition.
Yeah,
But when you're ready to stand on business, you stand on business. So I just want to preface that before we play the video of the police. But before doing that, I just wanted to ask you, just in general, like, how are you doing? I know, like I said, you've got this great, disposition about you, your spirit, your soul, everything is just really beautiful. But how are you doing, and where are you living, and how are you? Because let me just say again, that house is gorgeous. That home is beautiful.
that's beautiful.
So I can't imagine the pain of going there, trying to just be in a home that belongs to you, and
Yeah,
these folks are in here and you're
yeah,
being hauled off by the police every time.
yeah,
So I just
yeah.
wanted to ask you before we go on, because having to watch this over and over again and relive it can't be easy. So how are you
Uh,
doing?
no, I feel like diamonds are made through pressure. People that are going to be influential are going to make a difference. When you look at, like even like the biblical heroes, every last one of them were incarcerated, judged, all these things beat, all these kind of things happen to them. And it's like I look back and I'm like, you know what? It's kind of like the context of my life in some regard. I'm before the eyes of a lot of people, and I just pray that I just keep on operating in integrity, God. It hurts a lot. It hurts because you get to the point. I'm going on 5 years. First year is like, oh my God, this is crazy. Second year is like, are you? This is really crazy.
And are
Third year,
we
I'm
still
like,
here? They're not even
what?
here anymore, and we're
And it's
still
like, and
going
then
through this fight.
they're gone, and it's like 5. I'm like, bro, like they've been gone a year. Next in a couple, like 3 weeks, they've been gone a year. I've been the deed holder. They broke crimes, committed. I mean, they've done crimes, and I still can't go to my home. And it's like I have to live in a whole nother. I have to get a whole nother. I have to rent a whole nother property, right? Wow, and sometimes I got to pay the rent, pay my rent on this property while I have to pay the mortgage out there. So it's like, and it's overwhelming. I work so many hours every week. It's like I'm driving myself into the ground every year. I'm like, I just gotta hold on one more year, one more year. This is it. I know it's one more year. And every time I get to the end of that year, they do something illegal to stop it. They're trying to tire me out. They know
Yeah,
that
they
I don't
want to
have
break
unlimited
you.
resources.
They do. They
Yeah.
want they're what they're banking on more than anything else is that
Mm,
this is just going to be really inconvenient. It's just you're going to get
yeah.
to a point where you're going to say, this is just, I can't, it's
Yeah.
not worth it. Let me just go and start over. So which leads me to
Mm.
my next question. Have you ever considered just starting over?
You know
Just
what? If I ever start over, it'll be on my own volition and my own will, in the most conduciveness of my animal family. No one's driving me from my home and without consequence. Because at the end
indeed.
of the day, if we can do that, if this sets a precedence. I'm a national case right now, and this sets a precedent. There's many people that watch this justice fight. Man, so many people messaging me saying, "Hey, listen, I'm fighting for my land. I'm watching you, and you give me strength to fight because my story may not have got that much publicity yet, but I'm fighting. I'm fighting." And I tell y'all, listen, I'm fighting right there with y'all. I don't have governors knocking on Morgan County's door telling them to do the right thing. I gotta get up. I gotta talk to people. I gotta do interviews. I gotta stay in the game. So do I want to start over? Not in that context. I've already been blessed with where God wants me to be and where He wants His ministry. Now I have to wage war against the corruption until everything is restored. In the event that everything is restored and we expand and we take our next chapter, as an animal family, as a wildlife staff team and family, we'll make those decisions, but it won't be on the hands of brutal might of injustice. We'll win first. We'll get restored. We'll stabilize, and we'll come up with when it's time to go. But right now, it ain't that time.
Good for you. I was hoping you'd say that, but these are some of the questions that people have asked. Like even
Absolutely.
before we went live, people are like, one just asked the question of why did you let these people in your life, which you answered,
Yeah.
and I got
Yeah.
those questions a lot. And then also the
Yeah.
question of, well, why doesn't he just start all over? And
Yeah.
then the other question a lot of people are asking is, where are the animals? Where are the animals? They're just I just have to play this again because I mean it's
Right.
just so beautiful. And to those who are just joining, you just need to see, I mean, you could see the love that Derrick has for these animals and then the love that they have for him. I mean, it's just beautiful to see. I mean, look at those cute, are they llamas?
So alpacas and llamas. Some
The
of them are llamas,
alpacas,
most
right?
of
It
them are
was one of
alpacas.
the
Yeah.
yeah, this beautiful. Look at them. Look at how much they love you. It's just beautiful to see. And look at this. Oh my goodness. I can't even. They're so cute. Look at that. Oh. So where are they?
So the animals are, because obviously they removed me off the company's property, and because they were beginning to sabotage the animals and things like that, I couldn't protect the animals anymore. And the judge would not remove these people. They wouldn't let me file evictions. They wouldn't let me do anything. Some of the animals had to be sold to zoos. You know, they can't just go to anybody. Some animals had to be sold to zoos because I asked the zoos to keep them, but zoos wouldn't keep them for me for free, and I couldn't pay thousands and thousands of dollars a month for their care. So I sold some. Some others are at zoos that I pay every month to take care of until I can get our home back. Some of the animals that when the judge kicked me off the last time, I had my Asian water buffalo, my Sarcata tortoise, and I know my cows were there, my Highland, my mini Highland cows, and they were there. They
Look at the
when the judge removed
kisses.
me, I know, look at George. And they were some of my animals. It was reported to me that my water buffalo had been slaughtered by some of the locals in order to hurt me. Has not been officially confirmed, but that's what was reported to me. And some of the animals are MIA. Nicole Canoy, who's a zoological owner down the street from me, she stole all my zoological panels and conspiracy with the Hardys. And she actually was posting my animals on her Facebook and selling them
Oh,
across state lines. So they sold my animals to other zoos for thousands of dollars. I reached out and contacted those zoos and let them know who I am and that those animals want me. And mind you, I have the Department of Natural Resources import permits on these animals and health certificates on these animals and contracts that bring these animals and purchase agreements or receipts on all my animals. They're not like, they didn't just hatch from an egg in my yard, So it's like they're all over and they're at boarding. Some of my animals are boarding at farms until I can go home. We don't have a home right now. So
well, I'm happy to hear that at least they're somewhere for the most part. And
yeah,
in how many did you have when you were actually
116.
on the home? 160?
116, over
Oh
116 actually,
wow.
but yeah,
Uh,
116.
well, I'm really happy that they're at least, like I said, some of them are at least being cared for on your
Yeah.
dime. But what I have to ask you too is, why are you the one? Because I know, okay, the home and everything is yours, but they're there and they're millionaires. So why are you paying for, the mortgage there?
So right now, it's been times that they do. Janet is on the the debt. We took out a $400,000 mortgage together, and the deed is in the company's name. We have the debt. We both own the debt, but the company owns the land.
Mm,
Okay, so Janet was on the property. So by law, she's supposed to, like, by law, she's a co-borrower. So if she doesn't pay it, then I pay it. So that's how that's supposed to
okay.
work. So therefore, I pay it. Sometimes she won't pay it. So when she doesn't pay it, then I have to pay it. So when she didn't
Okay.
pay it, I would pay it. So I'll pay my rent. I'll pay the rent at the property that I have to keep because I don't have a home, right? So then and I'll pay that property payment too, and then I'll pay the zoo too to keep the animals and everything else. And then on top of that, my truck, when they vandalized my truck, that was $4,500 to get my truck fixed. And then on top of that, he actually manipulated the computer. So when he knew once I fixed the transmission, then I'm gonna have to fix the computer, which is another $1,000. So they
Oh,
have just done so much. And it's like, and I'm the owner of everything. So at the end of the day, it really
it's
falls on
you.
me. But and
Yeah.
it's like I don't have a lot of help, financially. Like I work a lot. Like over years, I mean, I'm just trying to hold it down. I can't do business. My company's supposed to be generating funds and contributions, and we're supposed to be moving and getting grants and all this stuff like that. But for 5 years, they've tied my hands in the company's hands. We can't operate. We don't even have the pursuit of happiness anymore. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Who would have thought, right? They took all that from us.
It's terrible. These people are so wicked. Like, I
Yeah,
can't even fathom 5 years in this fight and we're still going and there's still no
yeah,
resolution. But talking about law enforcement, we're going to look at a time, like I said earlier, I set the
yeah,
stage of where you stood on business with these police officers, but ultimately
yeah.
what happened happened. But I'm not going to spoil it for our viewers. Let us watch.
Right now, I'm here at my home in Morgan County, Georgia, that I have the deed to. That's my residence that I have a Supreme Court ruling to. That my cars are registered. That my license is to. I think last, do you still have my license?
No, I got it back.
Okay, so you did. Okay, here we go. That my license are registered, and this officer is going to tell me that I don't live in my own home. Why are you trying to remove me from my home?
You don't live here.
I do live here. This is my bedroom. This is my room. I do live here. I live here, and I'm not leaving because I live here. So therefore, you don't have a right to put. Nope.
You don't go to your own bedroom because you know ain't none of your stuff.
Let's go in the bedroom. Would you like to go? I will show you. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go look then. Let's go look. So we're going to my bedroom. This officer is trying to remove me from land. He has no right, no authority to do anything. Here, come on in. And they're harassing me, and I want them off my private property. Hey, actually, you guys got to get a warrant. I don't want you on my property. You got to get off my property. No, this is my property. I'm not leaving. You need to get a warrant. Go get a warrant. Because you're trying to move me from my land. That's my constitutional right. This is my bedroom. This is my home. You're gonna have to. This is my bedroom, and everything belongs to me. I'm not leaving because this is mine. You can't tell me. You don't even tell me. You have no right to tell me to move my home. This belongs to me. This TV belongs to me. This is mine. This is mine. This bed belongs to me. That belongs to me. Everything, the workout equipment in there goes to me. Every radio in my command station belongs to me. Everything in this bathroom belongs to me. My lawyer has every receipt to everything in this room. So therefore, this is my furniture in my room. You have no right to tell me I'm leaving.
You wear girls' clothes?
No, I do not wear girls' clothes.
Those are all girls' clothes. Just curious.
But no, this is my bed. I pay this, my TV, my bed. Let's go in the bathroom. Everything. My basket, right here. My basket, my shower, my stuff. This is all my stuff. I have receipts to everything, every candle. No, those are not kids. Those are not my kids'
So
toys.
we got women's clothes. We got kids' toys.
So what are you implying? Be clear. What are you implying about women? What are you
Pretty much
implying?
what I've been saying for the last 15
Okay,
minutes.
but it's not relevant because this is my home. I own this. This is my home, and this is where I am. This is my bed, and on this I have receipts to my bed, and this is my home. So, yeah. So this is my home, and I'm not leaving. You guys have no right to bother me. Why are y'all here? Do not bother me. Leave me alone. Get out of my house.
Sergeant last 6 and type up the trespass notice.
Oh,
You're not allowed here.
If you can't type it up because it's my home. It's illegal. You can't do that.
Okay, well then you can take that to the courts.
Okay, you can't take, but you can't. I'm not. But it's my residence. How are you constitutionally removing me? Why are you removing me from my home? Why?
I can do it if a husband and wife get into an argument
But
or something.
we're not-
She wants her husband gone.
Well,
you can trespass him from his own home.
But you
trespass
can't trespass me. It's my home. What legal right? They're not on a deed. They're not on a lease. They're on nothing. You can't trespass me. It's my home. Okay. Go get them to produce evidence. Go get a document saying that this is their home or that they live here, or that they're residents here. Go produce it. I'll produce my license. My cars are registered here. I own this furniture. I'm on my bed right now. You're on my land. Every bill here is in whose name? My name. The light bill. My name. And the mortgage. My name. Everything. So therefore, you cannot remove me nor trespass me from the bed and the home that I sleep in. This is my home. I live here. And my cars are registered here. So you can't do that.
Let you ramble for a second. I got a question for you. When's the last time you've been here?
I haven't been here in over a week. That is correct.
Okay, you haven't been here for over a week.
And I'm not speaking anymore. I have not been here over a week, and I'm not speaking to you anymore because I don't have to.
So we're done talking, or
We
you
are
just done talking?
Well, I'm done talking because you can't remove me. It's against the law. You know that. It's my home. I have a license. This is my residence. This is my address. My vehicle that's here is registered to this property. This is my home. This is my bed. I have receipts and my lawyers, and I gotta get. Let me try to call Melinda. And my lawyer, but I want to stop recording because y'all do crazy stuff and injure me and all that stuff. No, y'all manipulate and throw away evidence and stuff. Y'all do all that. So anyway, like I said, why are you in my room? Can you please get out of my house? You don't have a right to be here.
I've allowed you to vent and go through all the stuff that you're talking about, okay? And now it's time to go. Okay, I'm not leaving without you.
So let me understand you clearly. So let me ask you this. So you're saying if I don't get off my bed in my home that I'm a resident at, that I've showed you documentation, you have not been able to show not one document of your allegations. I'm showing you legal paperwork of where I am. I'm showing legal paperwork. I am here in my room on my bed that I own. I have the receipt to this bed. I have the receipt to that. That's my TV. Everything in here belongs to me. This officer is claiming that I don't live here with a license right here with my address and my resident. It says my resident. I am a resident of Morgan County. A resident of Morgan County. A resident of Morgan County. You're not removing me because that's not fair. That's not right. It's my home. Somebody just told you something. I say, go get a document. Go get proof to remove me unconstitutionally. Go do it. Go get proof. Go get a document to remove me unconstitutionally.
This ain't a court of law.
But you follow the law. You're a law. You are under oath to follow the United States Constitution and law. Do not violate my rights and tell me something that you cannot do. You don't have a right to tell me to leave my home because you just told me you served me.
You don't, on what grounds? What legal grounds you have?
I can tell people to leave their homes all the time.
No, you can't, because that's illegal to do
husband,
that unless it's.
let's go back to the husband
I'm not a
and wife
husband.
thing.
I'm not anybody's
If you have
husband.
husband-wife
I'm not a
argument,
husband.
I
I'm not
can-
anybody's
I can-
husband.
I can
I'm not
make
anybody's
someone
husband.
leave, okay?
I'm not anybody's
If
husband.
I've got somebody who
I'm not
doesn't live
anybody's
in a
husband.
house, if I have a landlord.
No,
who goes
I
to
live in a
and
house.
shouldn't
I'm
be,
not a
I can
I'm
make
not a
them leave.
landlord. This is my residence. You can't speak to me as a landlord because I'm not a
Well, you're
landlord.
saying
I am.
I can't make anybody leave. So
Yeah,
I can.
and so there is incident circumstance where you can, but this is not one of those. I'm in the full parameters of my constitutional rights. Excuse me?
Those aren't exigent circumstances that I was talking about.
Those are circumstances where you potentially could make. I'm not a landlord. This is my
Someone said
residence.
A landlord tenant is one of the circumstances you're talking about.
And if you spoke of landlord tenant law a little while ago, a landlord cannot. He does not live there. He cannot. If there's a rental agreement, he can't just go. He has to give notice. I'm not a landlord. I am a resident. This is my home. I am a resident. On what grounds you say I'm not a resident?
You have to reside.
This is my residence.
No.
According to Morgan County record, I am a resident of this county. You cannot, as much as you don't want me to be a resident here, I am. You can't get over that. I am a resident. I am. I am a Morgan County resident. And you cannot get over that. As bad as evil as you are, and as evil and hateful and disgusting of officer as you are, you can't get over that. That's why you do bull crap like this.
Now you just took it to like a personal level.
No, it's not personal. No, you are evil. Look at you. You threaten me. You have been very facetious. You've been very condescending. You have violated my constitutional right to be here. You're telling me things that are not accurate. You're telling me that you can all operate off your own illegal volition. You're telling me I'm not a resident of a home that I have documentation and proof that this is my home. And then guess what you say? Hey, get this. This man tells me, he comes into my home, in my bedroom, on my bed, and this man tells me you're leaving either way. I said, on what grounds? He tells me I can remove a wife. I've heard, do you remember Judge Holt said the same thing? I can remove a wife and I can move a husband from a home. Well, guess what? There's still laws involved with that. So for the record, you guys are about to arrest me for what? What am I being arrested for?
I'm done talking to you.
So what am I being arrested for? I'm about to turn the camera off. We about to do it. Huh?
I'm done talking to you.
So what am I being arrested for, please?
I'm done talking to you.
Okay, so are you placing me under arrest?
Do you not understand what I just said? Done talking.
Okay, so are you about to place me under arrest?
We're just going to hang out till Sergeant Blanchard's done doing what he's doing.
Okay. And let me ask, are you placing me under arrest? Are you about to place me?
You're under arrest?
Huh?
You're under arrest?
I'm asking you. What is your intent? If I don't get off my bed and get off my residence and my bed right now, are you telling me that if I don't leave, you're going to violate my constitutional right and you're about to false imprison me? I need to know that.
I guess we'll just find that out.
So you're right there. You're not going to tell me whether you're going to place cuffs around me and arrest me in my home. You can't tell me that, but you've had all this.
That's normal.
You tell me that you're going to place me under arrest or not?
Yeah, do you think that's normal? We go ahead and give people a heads up that we're hey, we're fixing to arrest you in a few minutes. Do you think that's normal? No, that's not normal. So,
okay.
You just keep streaming and doing your video.
Okay. Well, everybody, you see, this is a gentleman. So this right here, we're going to make him, I'll be calling indisputable. He's going to be famous for violating my constitutional rights. He's trying, obviously he said I will be removed by force a little while ago. So therefore, that's fine. I've done nothing wrong. This is my home. This man is telling me that I'm not a resident here. And yet I asked him, what is his claim to make such? You don't live here. I'm a resident here. I live here. I know you don't. But yet he claims, this young man, he doesn't live here because the color of my skin and the way that I look, he wants to pull that bull crap. And I despise people like this, and I really do. And that's why I assume, but it's okay. There'll be a response to it because it's fine. It's all good. It's all good. But I've got documentation of this officer, just like I got good documentation of corrupt judges. We see Morgan County's riddled corruption time and time again, and they refuse or relent. And now they're getting ready to arrest me again. They're going to try to arrest me again for this, and this will be the second time, all right? And and to be quite frank, they actually arrested me this time this week last year. So it's fine. He's refused. He's not telling what he's going to do. I asked him a question. Hey, am I complying? He's getting my stuff. I'm not. I told him that I live here, and he's telling me that I don't. He's asking me to leave, and I'm like, but what grounds do you have to tell me to leave? I can remove a husband or a wife. Well, number one, I'm not anybody's husband. And I'm definitely not anybody's wife. This is not a marital estate. This is not anything like that. And these people gave him nothing, not one document. They just said he doesn't live here. That's all they said. He doesn't live here. And then he's like, we served you over 2 years ago in Conyers.
What does that got to do with anything? I had a stay away order bond. It said stay away from your property for 6 months, is what it said. I served it and I did it. So therefore, I live here. This is my home, my residence, so it's fine. So everybody, this is just documentation, and I've been corrupt. This is just corruption. So there we go, guys. So hey, to the justice movement, I want you guys to see this very clearly. What's happening here? Let me call.
So this situation is not something that police would even be involved in. So I'm like, why are they there? Because even when it happens, like here in Canada, for example, it's a landlord and tenant board, and so if the police are ever called, they say, that's not our problem. You gotta go through the proper channels. So the fact that they're standing there already, they violated.
Yeah, absolutely. That video had a lot wrong with it, and I saw the comments. They flagged my comment sections. Why'd you let him into your house? Why'd you let him into your house? It was imperative that they came into my house. You guys didn't catch that, because one thing that I knew that you guys didn't know, you heard his comment, I'm not leaving without you. I
Yep.
discerned that from the beginning. I
Yep.
discerned that. I already knew. There was no way that he was going to leave without me. He had it out for me. He was
Yep.
bent on breaking the law. It didn't matter
Yep.
at that point. So if I was going to get him breaking the law, I'm going to try to beat him at his own game, and I'm going to change the environment. It's a lot different than him telling me out of my driveway that I can't go in my house versus you taking me out of my damn bedroom. That's two different things.
Exactly.
I was laid on my bed intentionally to be there. This is my bedroom. This is my room. And if you're going to break constitutional law, you're going to do it in the confines of my personal bedroom. You will have no immunity. You will have no type of alibi to not being there. Another thing, I say I invite them into my home, right? And they say I let them in, but I immediately I recanted on it and said I want a warrant. I need a warrant. Get a warrant. He said, "Why do you need a warrant for it?" They refused to give me a warrant, right? You have a right to stop seizures and stop those things at any moment. When you realize that you have rights, you can stop it, and you have to make them get it. At that point where you say, listen, I no longer consent, everything stops. You have to reset this situation. So then they violated that as well, and wouldn't deny me the warrant and continue proceeding and wouldn't give me that. When that officer was in my bedroom, he told me, he said, listen, I'm not leaving without you. It's very personal. He broke the law. I gave him the deed of the property. I gave him my vehicle's registration, my license. And on top of that, the bills are in my company's name. The light bill, my company's name. Every bill there is in my company's name. I'm on everything. So therefore, I have full sole right. But guess what? These people that don't look like me, they don't need nothing. And I mean, I'm like, he's telling me that I don't live there. So my question is, do you live in my house?
Exactly.
When was the last time you been out of my house? I'm confused. You telling me where I don't live, and I've showed you all, and I showed you the proofs, everything. In the Hardy family, what they did, they put all their stuff in my personal bedroom when I was not there. They put kids' toys in my tub, and they went in my closet and put all their clothes in my closet. And I've already in the past,
They
we've had
literally
to have
just took
police.
over.
Literally took over my personal. I have videos, and it's on my social media. Them taking down those cameras are in my bedroom for a reason, for this exact purpose. I have pictures of their boyfriends and them coming into my room, putting their hands over my cameras and dismantling my cameras in my bedroom. I reported it to law enforcement. I made law enforcement when I moved their stuff out of my room the first time. I moved all their stuff out. I put it out there for them to take it back upstairs to their room. So they know this case. They know it. But they're bent on breaking law. It didn't matter what I told them that day. They don't care about what the Constitution says. They don't care about what rights are. This man gonna tell me I live in my home. Like, has this man? When was the last time he was at my house? It's very weird. You're telling me where I don't live, but so you live in my home? You come on my
Exactly.
property? What? It's a mess. It is highly illegal and unconstitutional. He broke the law.
Were you ultimately arrested?
So there's a video that I posted after that. So they said they're going to try to trespass me, okay? Criminal trespass me. So they produced a trespass warrant against me and they wanted me to sign it. I refused to sign it. They said that, okay, whether you sign it or not, we'll sign a refusal, but you are leaving this property today. And I have a video. The sergeant says 95. The officer comes, he gets ready to aggressively grab me. I said, wait, okay, I leave. Because I mentally, that was a week of my brother's death. I got too much going on. I can't be in jail. And plus I knew they were gonna harm me there. I may not have made it out of there. So I said, I'll leave. He said, are you sure you're gonna leave? Because if not, you're going to jail. And so I left, but I needed to make sure they were gonna take me down first. I had to make sure. Another thing, the media, everybody missed when y'all watch these videos. When that officer that's standing by with his hands like this, he has on takedown gloves already. He was
Yeah.
standing outside with takedown gloves on. He was the guy that's supposed to lay
That's what
hands on
they
me from the
do. They put
beginning.
their gloves on and yeah. That's what
Exactly.
they
They're
do.
ready. So therefore, they already premeditated, knew that they were going to take me down. They thought
Yeah.
I was going to put up a violent fight too. When we were
Yeah.
outside, he told me, if you watch that video from me, and the first thing he said, it doesn't matter what you showed me. He said it before I didn't even get a chance to show him the deed, the license. I even showed them a superior court ruling saying this is mine. Everything belongs to me here. I have a right to be here. It's my home. He said it doesn't matter. They had gloves on. They had takedown gloves on from the beginning. So when I discerned that, I changed the environment. I said, that's fine. I know. I see what we're on here. Now I got you. I'm gonna make sure I say everything I need to say to make sure that you are cognizant of what you're doing, right? I'll make sure that I educate you on what the law is so you don't have an excuse. Then I'll make sure that you take me down and try to arrest me in the most vulnerable place in my home, my bedroom.
Yeah.
So I did that. That's why I did that, everybody. For those of you that are wondering, that was the stupidest thing. Why you let him in your house? It changed the game up
Well,
legally.
also too, it's police. So how
Yeah.
much, like, I mean, how much fight can you do when they show up to your house, right?
Yeah, but what am I
So
gonna do? They
it's yeah,
surround
it's
all these
not
officers,
realistic for people to be asking you why'd you let them in your house. Like,
and I have nothing to hide.
I
Plus, I
know
had
that
nothing
we
to hide.
I know
Yeah.
that typically we're like, well, you can't come in without a warrant, but I mean, at the end
Yeah.
of the day, they can
Yeah.
and they do, even if they have a warrant or not, they still violate the law.
They
And in
do.
this case, they've been violating the law all the way through. And again,
Okay.
I reiterate, the main offenders of this whole thing are not even alive anymore.
Gone.
So, just in closing, what ultimately would you like to see happen? I mean, I know, but let's just
Yeah.
for
You
the
know,
viewers, and then also we'll talk about your GoFundMe as well, and I will put it in the I'll pin it in the comment field.
you know, and thank you. And what I like to see happen is this. Millions of people watch my story year over year. I need people to actually help. I need people to be like, listen, I could be some of you guys' kids. I can be some of you guys' brother. I can be some of you all's friend. I could be some of you all's uncle. I'm something to a lot of people. I have a family. I have friends. I have all those things like that. But listen, I need people to really connect to what's happening here. This is monumental. If they take me down, it's no telling when they're going to be coming for your neck of the woods next. You don't know. They're watching. It's a lot of organizations and people that practice this type of corruption and governments across the nation. They want to see the hope, the spirit die with a case like this right here. I want to
Yep.
see people get engaged. I want to see you guys fight back with me. And you guys don't got to, if people that can give to the GoFundMe, oh my God, it's going to help a lot. Believe me, it helps a lot. But if you can't do that, there's many ways to help. Like you can go on and just like and comment. I'm praying for you. That helps the algorithm. I gotta reach a celebrity, somebody that has the ability, to be like, you know what? Injustice is it's enough. So I gotta start. You guys have to help me get somewhere. Like you guys got to be sharing my content. You guys got to be trying to. You guys have family members that have resources or know people. You can make a call. Hey, I'm very easy to reach on social media. Like you can reach me on social media, and then go to my website, helptheark.org. And on my website, there's something really cool on there. I have a tab called the Hall of Shame, and on the Hall of Shame tab, I list everybody out, their faces, their names, their positions, and what they did to me. So you can go see all of them. And so then you go to the ways to help tab and report them to all those people. I gave you contact information to report the Hall of Shame to these people that can help. So guys, I just want to see people get tagged in. I want to see people like I know, yeah, we've been watching this case year over year. I don't know what it's going to take to just get people. I know we're talking about it, but man, I mean, when I post content, man, I need everybody to like be swarming on those posts, tagging, just going on tagging sprees. I'm talking about just blowing up the tagging anybody you think of, everybody. Even if you
And
tag it, man, just
share,
tag your family
share,
members
share, share,
and share,
share.
share, share. Absolutely, and share. And I'm telling y'all, that helps so much. You guys don't realize how much that helps. You never know. I just got to get it. I just got to get one person of influence to see it and have a heart to care. Just one. That's all it's going to take. Just one. All right. And so the ways to give on my website and like Miss Emma, I appreciate you putting that up. The GoFundMe, there's Cash Apps, there's PayPal, there's ways to help that way too. But nevertheless, you guys, I need y'all to just don't let my story die. Stay with me, y'all. Please keep
Keep
on
it active.
posting,
Keep it in the
keep it active,
algorithms. Reach
help
out.
them.
Flood
Yeah,
Benjamin Crump and any other lawyer that you
yes,
know, like high powered attorney.
please, yes.
Reach out to them. And there is a hashtag, Justice for Derrick. Keep that
Justice for
hashtag
Derrick.
going.
Keep it going, keep it
Just keep
going.
it just keep it going. And I know I will. And after this live
Yeah,
stream's over, I'm going to share it everywhere, and I know you will
yeah,
as well.
yeah. I
Let's
am.
get everybody. Let's get all the views in. Let's get
Yeah,
people involved. It's
yes.
super important. And
We're-
you're my buddy. So
I know.
I'm
I
praying for
love you,
you.
Miss
I'm
Amber.
praying for those beautiful animals. As I
Yes.
said, I have 2 dogs, and when I look at them, their cute little faces, it's like I can't even imagine,
Yeah.
losing all of that.
Yeah, I wish you could have
So,
played the video. I want you guys to go see the video on my page. I just posted like a couple of days ago. And it's my donkey, and I'm literally leaving the farm. He's boarding at a farm because we don't have a home right now, obviously. So he's boarding at a
oh,
farm. And as I'm walking away, I'm leaving the farm, and I can hear he's screaming. He's crying like, "Dad, don't leave!" He's literally crying ball, like, please. He's screaming, "Don't leave!" He needs me. I get out of the car to go over to him. He's just crying. I just give him his big. I just hug him straight across his face. And I tell him to stay off the fence. He gets off the fence. I'm trying to walk away. He just comes back like, please, I need you. And I go back and hug him one more time. It's a very heartfelt video, but it shows it shows my animal family's hurt that we share. It shows the pain. And like when people see me, yeah, you see me. My animals don't have a voice like that to tell you guys what's going on or what they're feeling.
yeah.
But so think about all of them too. Help us get
Yeah.
home. Hey, listen, this is y'all. My farm is you guys' farm too. Like I've been a part. I'm part of the nation now in some regard. You guys got to help. We're family now across the board. So many people, y'all defend this family. Y'all help us. You know.
Help us, man. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Derek. I know that it's just having to talk about this over and over again, but it's
Yeah.
so important. And your
It
story
is.
is like,
It is.
it's so important. And, it's not only just about you, it's also about these animals,
Animals. Yeah. Yeah.
and so, again, as an animal lover myself, it just pains me. This plus the anti-black racism, plus the
Yeah.
corruption, plus
Yeah.
the displacement of yourself,
Yeah.
your animals, and this is all yours. So,
Hey,
we just got to keep it going. So, family, keep this going. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to keep
thank you.
sharing it. I know Derek will as well. And
Absolutely.
I'll bring Derek back, and we're going to have, an update. And also
Yes.
we'll get you on some more podcasts here in Canada,
Yes.
so that
Yes.
more Canadians, hey, Dr. Vibe, if you're
Reach
interested,
out.
let's get him on Dr. Vibe as well. We
Yes.
can,
Reach out, please.
I do the Dr. Vibe show the fourth Monday of every month. We can bring you
Yeah.
on there as
Let's do
well.
it.
So let us just keep it going. So
Please.
thank you, Derek. Thank you, everybody, for
Yes.
tuning in. Thank you for praying for him. Please continue to do so.
Oh,
And
yes.
like I said, like, comment, share, subscribe, keep this going. Let's keep him in the
Please.
algorithms.
Please.
Hashtag justice for Derek. And you see the GoFundMe. Let us just keep this alive. Thank you, thank
Yes.
you, thank you, everybody. We shall see you again. Until then, please be safe. Peace be.